Welcome, this is Kim Rippere with Craftisan Studios. Today I'm going to talk about media morsels that Cat Hand is doing on YouTube, and I'm going to talk about, it's a series, so I'm going to talk about numbers 1 through 5. And I've done them, and I'm going to go back and do one of them on this video. So the first one was plastic wrap, and this was the first one that I did where you leave the plastic wrap on overnight and allow it to dry. And then someone in the group had done one that was where she said that the paint was very wet. And so I went back again and did it with the paint being very wet. And I really like this one because there's a lot more variation in the color, and you can see down to the bottom a lot more. And then number 2 was a collage. Basically, this was just grab everything out of the bottom of your scrap bin, which I did, and then write a letter on it. And anybody who's following me knows that I'm working on my lettering, so I was kind of excited to get to do that. This is an alcohol background. Oh, I should say that she's doing this on a mini composition book, or in a mini composition book. I'm doing it on index cards because I had them. And in the beginning, I'm writing on the back of what these are so that I don't forget. So this is an alcohol background. This is a glue resist, which I knew I wasn't really gonna like, and I don't. You have to wait like overnight for the glue to dry, which is really not my favorite. And I screwed these up intentionally. I wanted to see what they look like. This just isn't a look that I prefer. And then the last one, which is the one that we're going to do, that I'm going to do today, is tissue. It's a tissue paper background. So this was the first one that I did, where you basically Mod Podge the tissue paper down, all crinkled. And then I used a purple wash on this. And the purple wash was just sort of dark, so the next layer that she wanted everybody to do just wasn't really viable with this color. So I wanted to do another one. So I did this one, which the tissue paper had some scudge on it. And then this is a light yellow pearlescent, or light orange pearlescent that you water down. And then this is, it must be fired brick distress ink, which is what creates the red. And I really like this because I kind of think it gives that effect of, you know, fire or the sun or something like that. So this is the one that we're going to do. I've got 5 set up to do so that we can see a variation in what's going to happen. So the first thing that you do is you glue or Mod Podge tissue paper down. So I did a couple of different ways of that. This is, you know, with just kind of smaller linear lines. This has a lot more line effect and a lot more built up on it. And then these were, these two were, you know, printed tissue paper that I had. And this last one was scraps. So what I want to do, the one that I'm going to do sort of partially live at the beginning, I wanted to have some set up, is a navy blue. And of course I got everything out except for the Mod Podge, which is right where it should have been. So all you do is, you know, take a hunk, put a bunch of Mod Podge on the page, and then don't put it down flat. And the Mod Podge is going to come through, but you don't really want to Mod Podge the top and get that all sopping wet. So I'm just trying to, you know, fill it up in a way that hopefully will end up being interesting. So I'm just going to glue down these ones that are obviously sticking up. And these ones that are folded over, she went down and she found an edge and like that, and glued them all down. So I'm trying to get into mixed media and kind of more into mixed media, and sometimes I don't feel like I really have the base skills that I need. So this is has been so far a really good way to increase my skills without having to do a full project. So then you just want to go around the edges because those are hardly ever perfect, especially the corners. Okay, and then when this is dry, all you have to do is, you know, cut it down to size. So I'm going to leave this to the side, and maybe by the end it'll be dry, and we can play around with this one too. Okay, the first one I'm going to put yellow on. Let me clean this up. Clean my brush off. So I picked a really bright yellow. And I'm not very good at just getting a little tiny bit out. So, and then just some water, which I think I have too much. So let's put a little bit more there. And there you go. Just brush it on. I'm just gonna see if there's, there we go. Cleaning my brush. Okay, the next one I'm going to use, oh, that first one was Folk Art Sunny Yellow. This one is Adirondack Terracotta Dabber, and I've actually never used this, so I thought it might be a good time to do that. And since I've never used it, it's not dabbing. Again, just add a little bit of water. I'm kind of having a little love affair with orange right now, which was never really a color that I preferred until maybe the last couple of years, and I think everybody's sort of decided that orange is kind of a fun color. Or many people have. Nobody likes everything. So there you go, and you can see that starting to lift up. I apparently didn't pay close enough attention to that corner. This is the one with the printed background. And I decided to go with a light color for this one. This is Folk Art Calypso Blue. think I want a little bit more color, less wash. So let's just put a little more in. Okay, wait for that one to dry. This one I'm using Folk Art Lime Luster, and this is Pearlescent. Let's see if I got the right amount that time. Okay, and here's the last one with the scraps. And this one I'm going to use Viva Precious Metal Color Rose Pink. Get all the green out of my brush one more time. Hey, I'm not sure what happened. You know, a call came through even though I have the Do Not Disturb sign up on my phone. So the first one that we did was this yellow one, which is dry, which was the whole plan. So the two inks that I've pulled to put on this one, she only did one, but I thought it might be fun to do two or more. And so what you do is you gently sort of put the ink pad over this. And that is not enough of a color change for it to show up. Here you go. This one is showing. I want to do this one again just to make sure that really that was the problem. And it wasn't. So, yeah, that's the problem. Okay, so that's not enough of a color change. You really need a color difference for it to show up. So I think this is a great background. And then what Kat does on a lot of hers is she edges them in black. I tend to edge in the same color that I've used, or maybe something a little darker, not always black. So I'm just going to edge in this. This is a dried marigold. So that's one. And then this is the one that we did with terracotta. And so the ones I've picked for this are this Delicata Gold, which I love. And this is Mixed Media Inks by Colorbox. It's a truffle, which is a very dark brown. So let's see what we can get with this gold, if we can get anything. Well, some ink came off. I don't know if you can see. There are some places where it hit, but it doesn't really make much of an impact. Again, it's because it's too close in color, or maybe even lighter. This is kind of cool because you can, you know, you can bend this so you don't have to put the whole circle down. Okay, so there you go. That's this orange and brown one. And I'm just going to edge this brown one like this. 2 down. This is the one that we did with blue. That one's a little wet. I'm going to dry it off. This one I left really raggedy. You see how this side's up, and I wanted to see, and there's a whole bunch stacked on here. I just wanted to see what it would look like a little more raggedy. So the colors the ink pads I've picked for this one are Peacock Feathers and Faded Jeans, and I bet you these Peacock Feathers are going to have the same problem. No, it's dark enough that I'm getting a lot, actually. It's really nice. And I still am going to put some Faded Jeans on, so let's see. I think I'm going to dry it first. Hopefully that's long enough. So I'm just going to... This is just, you know, another layer of color and interest. So yeah, that makes a big difference. So this one we actually, 2 different colors worked. Oh, and then let's do the dark around the edges. Hi, how are you? Thank you for the hearts. Then the next one we're going to do is, this is the one that had the printed background, and then I used lime luster, and then I have this Memento Luxe Pear Tart and this Rainforest Versacolor, and I have a feeling this Pear Tart is going to have the same, yeah, we're not going to get anything, it's too close in color. But I thought this one would be fun because it's got, you know, a variety of colors in it. I'm going to turn around so it's not all the light colors on one side. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to go get a solid green to put around the edge of that. I think I'll put olive. I love this color. And then the last one of the ones that I had prepared is the pink that we did with the precious metal color. And again, it's a little wet, so I'm going to dry it quickly. Okay. So I've got 3 pinks here. I've got this color box, which I think is going to have, you know, obviously I like the light colors, so that's not going to show up. And then this pickled raspberry is another one of my favorite colors. It's very bright. So you can see a big difference, and it adds another layer of color and dimension. Okay, I'm going to dry this before I try the other one. Okay, and this last one, this is Memento Luxe Lilac Posies. So it's a little deeper and more purple than the other one. Okay, so it kind of toned that down and gave it more dimension, and then I'm going to do the edges with this. Okay, so the final one that we have left is the one that I started with, and I wasn't sure if it would be dry enough, and I think it is. So I only have my little snips, which is not normally how I would do this. I'm just cutting along my index card. This is the first time I'm doing one with dark tissue paper, so this is sort of the test on this one. And I'm going to put white on this one, actually. That's just Liquitex Basic White. And just put a little water in here and make it a wash. And I'm just going to turn around and dry it quick, and then we'll hopefully be able to put the top color on. That's dry. Let me think about a light blue that I have. I have this glass, which is tumbled glass, which is very light. So let's see if it makes any. Nope, can't see that. Peacock feathers, let's try that. That you can see. And it creates, you know, another level of color and dimension. So I'm going to dry that, and then I'm going to see if I can't put this mixed media jasmine on it, which is a white. Okay, let's hope I don't get too much blue in my jasmine. Okay, I'm getting blue in there. I don't want to do that. As much as I want to do that, I don't want to ruin that blue. So I guess, let's try putting this dark blue on and see if we can see that. No. So I tried Peacock Feathers. This is Salty Ocean, which is just a little more blue. So basically this does work on a dark one. You know, you end up with a different result, but all of these you end up with different results. So I'm just going to review what we did today, because that was a lot, actually. So we started off talking about the mixed media morsels. And this is, you know, the glue resist, the alcohol background. This was the collage. And these are the saran wrap. And then this is the fifth one, which was the tissue paper. These are the ones that I had done in advance. This is a purple one, and I couldn't really get anything to go over it because the purple was so dark. And then, you know, this one kind of looks like fire to me. And then these are the ones we did today. This is a pink one with 2 colors of ink on top. And this had a printed background that we did something light over, and then we did darker inks. This was terracotta that's got brown around it, which worked out really well. And then this was the yellow one that we put orange on. And then this had the printed background, or the printed tissue. And then we did a blue color wash and 2 colors of blue and edged it. We did a lot today. And then this is the last one that we did that had a blue tissue background. So I thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you look forward to seeing me post this on YouTube. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.